This video will show how to install TDengine Historian in Windows 11. Before you install, you'll have to download the installation packages. You can get them from our download center at tdengine.com/downloads. For TDengine Historian, you'll need to download the installation package for TDengine TSDB Enterprise and for IDMP Enterprise. You can also optionally install TDgpt Enterprise, which is an advanced analytics component for things like forecasting and anomaly detection, though this is optional and you don't have to install it. I've got the three packages here on my desktop for TSDB, TDgpt, and IDMP, and I'll just go through how to install them now. We'll start with TSDB. Just click yes, click next. If you want to use OPC data ingestion, you can choose this DLL, or if not, just click next. Then click next and click install. This will only take 1 or 2 minutes to install on most machines. Now we're almost finished here. It checks whether the Pi SDK is installed, but if you're not using the Pi connector for TDengine, you can ignore this and click next. You can set a name for your computer at the D node, or just choose to keep the default, which is your computer's name in Windows. We'll do that and click finish here. And now we'll go into the TDengine folder, which is C TDengine, and start the services. We'll run the start all batch file as an administrator. This will start the 5 TSDB services you can see here. It'll only take a few seconds to start in most cases. After that, it initializes the database. And we're done. Now TSDB is installed and running. You can check it by going to localhost port 6060 in the browser. But we're going to keep going and install TDgpt. As I said, this is an optional step. If you don't want advanced analytics or ML and that kind of stuff, you don't need to install this. But we'll just show how to do it for those who do want it. Here we're going to choose online mode. We also provide an offline package. If you have a production environment where you cannot access the internet, you can use that. But for testing and POC purposes, online mode will be easier. So we'll choose that and click next, and keep the default setting for the mirror here. You can decide whether you want to add TensorFlow support. I'll just not install it on my computer, but if you do want to use that, you can check it. If you don't want any time series models, you can choose not to install them here. For example, if you only wanted to use statistical methods for doing analytics, or you can download our models online. And we provide a few different ones here. I'm going to just choose time MOE as an example, but you can choose one or more and download them here. Though do keep in mind that they take up hard disk space. I'll click next on that, and you can also keep the default setting for this endpoint. Click next again, and then we'll go ahead and install. Now this can take some time depending on what you chose and the speed of your internet connection, because it's downloading a lot of dependencies and models from the internet. So please be patient and just let it install, and we'll be back in a minute. Now the installation is completed. We can see I've got the time MOE model here. I'll just click finish. It'll open the log, but you can just close it. Now I'll go back to the TDengine folder, which is CTDengine again, and find the Taos A node folder. The A node is analytics node. This is where the TDgpt services are running. So we'll go into the bin folder and run the start Taos A node batch file as an administrator. This will be pretty quick. It'll start the service for TDgpt, and then ensure that it's running and ready. When it's finished, you can just press enter. Now, if you installed any models, you also have to run the start model batch file, also as an administrator. If you didn't install any models, you can skip this, but if you did, then go ahead and run it. It's also pretty fast. You can see here which models are getting loaded and which are being skipped. And once this is done, just press enter again. One thing to keep in mind, if you want to add more models to your TDgpt, you can do that just by installing it again and choosing the different models that you want. So at this point, we now have TSDB and TDgpt both configured and installed and running. And now we're going to continue to IDMP. Before you install IDMP, make sure that you have Java 21 or later. If you do not, you can go to the Oracle website and download it for Windows. Once that's installed, you can go ahead and install IDMP. Just click yes. Accept the license agreement here. You can install to the same folder as TSDB, so TDengine. And once again, for testing in POC, we do online installation. Though if you have a production environment that cannot access the internet, we also can provide an offline package. You can just keep the default here and click next, and then click next again and install. This won't take too long. Now we're almost done here. This is maybe 2 or 3 minutes on most computers, I think. And go ahead and click finish. And now go back to the TDengine directory in TDengine and open the IDMP folder here and go into the bin folder and run start TDengine IDMP.bat as an administrator. So start IDMP and the AI service, and we'll be ready to test it. To go to localhost port 6042, but you'll have to wait a minute or two for IDMP to start. Now once IDMP is started, you can load the page here and activate. Put in your email, an organization name, and you can get a activation code in your email. Once you receive it, just copy it into the code field here and click activate. Now you can choose certain privacy settings, whether you want to send crash reports, for example, to help us make the product better. Once you're finished, just click accept, agree. On the next page, you'll fill in your account information, just your name, your phone number, password. And you have to choose at least one sample scenario. I'll just choose utilities for now, but you can pick whichever you like if there's one that's more suited for your industry or your use case. Click confirm, and now we're in IDMP. There's a tour guide here that'll show you around the UI. I'm going to close it for now, but you can get back to it. In the menu on the top right, under tour guide, you can see it if you like to. Now I've started importing the sample data for the utility scenario. We'll go in the admin console under sample data to take a look at that. And it's loading still. If we go back to the Explorer now, AI should be generating panel suggestions. And we can see in the Elements Explorer here that a little data at least has come in from utilities, and here are the panels that AI has recommended. So we can confirm that IDMP and TSDB are working properly. And further usage of IDMP will be covered in another video. This is just for installation and activation. So that's all for today. Thank you.